Welcome, welcome, welcome. In the second office here. Thank you for joining me, even those who have not come in yet, but thank you very much. Hope everyone is doing just fine, very well. Today we're going to talk about what's happening here in Thailand. Actually, I got a lot to go over. Right now, the Thai baht is at 32.8 to the dollar. It's 68 degrees. It's rather cool this morning. High 85. Low tonight, 67. Feels like 70 degrees. 55% humidity. Winds westerly, 13 kilometers an hour. That's 8 miles an hour approximately. Visibility 23 kilometers or approximately 14 miles. And the air quality is a moderate 70, which is a fair bit better than the other day when it was about 160. I forgot, but you know, they're doing all these renovations here. And I forgot that somebody told me, oh yeah, Starbucks is going to go under renovation too. Now, I don't know what the heck they're doing. Why does it need to be renovated? Are they going to make it bigger? I guess we'll find out. But bottom line is, this place is open today, Monday, and Tuesday. Let me see here. Yeah, today, Monday, and Tuesday. And Wednesday, it is closed. This Starbucks is closed for 5 months. So I'll be looking for a new office, second office besides the one in my home. And you know, sometimes I like to get out of the house. It's a habit. So I'm gonna have to figure out another Starbucks to go to. There are some around, but you know, I'm used to this one. This one's very easy to get to, very convenient for the most part, aside from getting back home. But anyway, yes, good morning, Jim. Good morning to everybody. Sawadee Ton Chow, Sawadee Kap. I want to give a big thanks to Mr. Johnny Siam and of course the moderators who never get enough credit, even though nowadays they don't have to do a whole lot. Mr. 2Q Asia and also Mr. Gennaro. So, like I said, we got a lot to cover. There's a lot of stuff I want to go over. Some funny stuff, some not so funny stuff. But before we begin, please consider giving this stream rather, a thumbs up if you like it. If you like the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Sometimes I forget to say that, but I do appreciate it. And if you'd like to help support the channel, just take a look down below the video in the description. Everything's down there. You want to contact me, whatever, you can just get a hold of me through ways in the description, or just leave a comment or something. I'm like, I forgot all about the fact that this place is closing, so I think I'm gonna stream on Tuesday. I'm not quite so sure. But after that, I'm gonna have to find another location. It may be a Starbucks, it may not be. I may just switch it around, I don't know. But there was one place that I've been talking about going to, and I've been planning on going there next month. And I haven't said a whole lot about it because I kind of wanted to keep it hush-hush. It's a place that not many people ever get to, but something I remembered is that there is a Mon Festival coming up, and I need to find out the exact dates. This is a bit problematic because I don't write in Burmese, and I don't know if the Mon have their own script or they just speak Burmese, I don't know. But I'm having a hard time finding out when the festival is taking place. And, you know, I've been to this festival before, and it's a lot of fun. There's village boxing, there's bare knuckle boxing. Of course, we all know that, according to some people, there is no such thing as bare knuckle boxing in Thailand, but there is. There's bare knuckle boxing in Bangkok, in Pattaya, Mae Sot, Even, like I said, down in Sangkhlaburi. And, you know, the level, what they do is they start out with the young kids. I'm talking about, they're like 10 years old, 12 years old. They start out with them, then they get to the guys who are older, but they're not really experienced, and it gets pretty wild. That's like on the first and second day, and then on the final day, which is the third day, they bring out the guys who are the baddest dudes. And you know, the first guys might be guys who they just want to fight somebody that's Thai because they've had a couple of drinks and they feel like getting in the ring, and they tell whoever the organizer is, half an hour before, yeah, I want to fight. You need somebody, I'll fight this guy. All right, and that's what they do. And I've done this before. I've gone there before. I've been to Mesot before. I've been to quite a few of these events in Myanmar, here in Thailand, in Bangkok, and also on the border. But Sangkhlaburi is a nice place. Now I do have a contact. I do have a contact there in Sangkhlaburi, which is great, and he is checking on this for me, and hopefully I'll know this week what's going on. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Mr. Random Commenter. Good morning, good morning. Sawati Cup to everybody, all right? So the deal is that I have to kind of keep looking and see what I can find for this year. I don't think that these festivals have taken place for 2 or 3 years because of you know what. And so I would expect that they're going to have the festival this year, and if they are, I will probably end up going to Sangkhlaburi. I know how to get there. It's pretty easy to get there. It's a fun little place. They got I think it's a reservoir. And they got some stuff to do. And some people who are watching and who have followed the channel, they may remember I've been there. I've streamed there. I've actually tried streaming the fights, and it got so hot that the phone was shutting down and I couldn't do it. So I may just go there and record that. And because they're, like I said, they get pretty wild. Sometimes the guys got a lot of skill, and sometimes the guys have absolutely no skill, but they just have balls of steel. So I'm waiting for the confirmation dates, and I believe the last time I went, it was around February 20th, 23rd, somewhere around there. But the festival dates change every once in a while. Hey, thanks, Jim. Wow, got a little extra scratch at the end of the month. Have a coffee at the new streaming location on my behalf. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hadn't said anything, but I'm trying to beat, every month I try to surpass the month before. And I don't always do it. And listen, sometimes I get an extra $3 in a month. I beat the last month by $3. $3 is better than nothing. But right now I think I need about $58 or something like that, and then I will surpass last month's total, which makes me happy. I'm doing a lot of things now. I've been really working on trying to make the channel better, and also my website better, and link them together and all that. Hopefully I'll be able to go to Sangkhlaburi. And like I said, I have somebody there who is helping me. And hopefully he'll be able to come through and find out the dates and everything. Otherwise, I may just go down there. I'll just go down there for a night, and I'll find out when it is myself. I'll go there in person and go walking around, go looking around, and I'll find out myself. Maybe I'll just stream from there. Maybe I'll shoot video. I don't know. Good morning. God, I love Thailand. Dave Ledoux, 2Q Asia, and I went to, I met Dave Ledoux while ago, and I ended up going to, I don't remember how many fights, maybe it was 2 fights of his, I don't remember, it's 1 or 2. And I wasn't gonna go to his fight because I had my gallbladder surgery, and I still had some stitches in me, and I think it was stitches. I had a dressing on or something, and it needed to be dressed like every day. And I was still in a lot of pain, and I didn't want to miss out. I had the FOMO. And so I know on the one time, I think Longhorns and I have been to Myanmar either once or twice. It's habit, Longhorns. But we went there. We saw him fight. Now, he fought a guy who, in my opinion, was an older Thai fighter. And, you know, it was easy it looked easy. Of course, it looks easier because he is at a different level than a lot of fighters. But he's a very good fighter. And I don't think he's fought in a couple of years now. I don't know if he plans, I mean, you know, he could probably just do seminars from now on and he'd be fine, but maybe he wants to fight again. I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to him in a while. I used to talk to him, and, you know, there's no reason to I don't want to bother him, and I don't want to, you know, I don't have that much to talk to him about him except for the fights. And, you know, I've covered a lot of boxing events, and including bare knuckle fights. And anyway, he was a nice guy. I don't know if he's married now, but I think it was his girlfriend at the time. She was very nice. They were very, very, very nice to 2Q Asia and I, and we had a great time. And it was it was a little bit rough for me, but it was fun, and I'm glad I went. So, but his level and the level of the fights that take place in a place like Yangon or some of the bigger, like Mandalay or somewhere like that, these guys are like at the top of their game, at least for in Myanmar. They are the best. I mean, I'm not to say that they couldn't be beat by a Muay Thai fighter if they were fighting under Muay Thai rules or something like that, or some bare knuckle fighter, you know, from the U.S. that comes and he's just worrying about his hands. But I mean, they do headbutts. They you know, it's elbows, knees, kicks, punches, headbutts, throws, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty crazy. The same goes with the village boxing, but they're not at the same level, and they are a bit more cautious, especially with the kids. They don't want some kid, you know, getting his teeth knocked out. He's taking a beating and he gets his teeth knocked out or something like that. So, you know, hopefully I'll get down there. Things will work out. Now, I got a comment, and I just wanted to address this. It's not a big deal. But this guy writes, he started writing, leaving comments once in a while, and he said, and he was referring to the last stream that I did, the expat life, the truth as I see it, where I was talking about the weed shops and how prevalent they are, and how you could just walk down the street in a lot of places and you'll see shop after shop after shop after shop. And so he left a comment. Now this is the clip to the last stream. But his comment was, I guess I said, you know, the weed shops are no big deal. Now, apparently he didn't get the context in which I was speaking, and maybe other people didn't either, so I feel the need to just rectify the situation and clarify what I said. So he writes, I mean, what you said about the cannabis shops is really effing odd, bro. You act like they're effing amusement parks or something. I mean, or something. He doesn't, no punctuation, nothing, and every other, he's got like 3 times he's got F, asterisk, 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 which, I mean, dude, if you're gonna do it, just write it. I mean, I don't want to say that anymore because YouTube is cracked down, and you know, for those who don't know, the other day I had a got an email from YouTube. It said your video has been pulled. And greetings there, Senor. And it said your video has been pulled. And I was like, what video? And it was about the Thai government and vaccinations and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, why would they pull it down? I'm like, I didn't. And then it said it was something about the incorrect information. That's the way I'm going to phrase it. So I challenged it, and the video got back up. But their algorithm is pretty tight. And they figured out right away, they said, we made a mistake. Very sorry, your video's back up. So I'm trying to watch what I say a little bit, and I may end up, putting some stuff up on Rumble where I just say what I want. It might be easier. But anyway, he says, I mean, what you said about the cannabis shops is really effing odd, bro. You act like they're effing amusement parks or something. And then he refers to me. I mean, I went and checked them out, but they're just no big deal. So then he writes, what? Did I miss something? It's not effing Legoland. Well, actually, there's two ways to look at it. It is exactly like Legoland or Toys R Us or Starbucks or anything else because they are selling a product. It is a business. So yeah, bro. And also the thing is that it's a business. Now what I've noticed about the little shops, and this is what I was referring to, is that a lot of the shops, they are not the super shops that I've seen and my friends have sent me photos of and told me about that are in the United States. They are, and also that are like in the Netherlands. You go into a cafe in the Netherlands, man, they got, you can get whatever you want in a lot of the places, and it's, they got, their act is together, okay? They've got it together. Here, I mean, like I think I told the story about when I was in Chiang Mai. The guy was a nice guy, but there's this guy sitting out this window, sitting outside of this little, looked like a coffee shop. Actually, there was a coffee shop next door, a little tiny coffee shop. And then this guy was sitting there right next to it, and it was in front of a window. And it just said, weed, edibles, and it had the weed sign. And so, good morning, Mr. Dowlow, good morning. And so I asked him, I said, is this your place? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Ireland. And so he goes, yeah. And so I said, oh, well, do you have any brownies or whatever, right? It's a couple months ago when I was in Chiang Mai. I gave all the edibles a try. I given several edibles a try because I wanted to sleep better. Now, what I found is some of them put me to sleep. They're really strong. There was a couple that I took that were really strong. They knocked me out. I still wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I may fall asleep at 9 o'clock and I get more sleep, but I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I would love to be able to sleep until 10 or 11 in the morning. And I don't mean I go out until 7 in the morning and then I wake up at 10 or 11. I mean, I'd like to be able to sleep all the way through the night and into the morning. I never can. Anyway, he goes, oh, I just made some brownies. I said, okay. I looked through the window. It's just like a little oven, a little table. Hey, thank you, Richard. Choke day to you. Thank you very much. And also to Mr. Tom, thank you for yesterday as well. And so, I just take a look inside, and I didn't say anything because, hey, whatever. I got my brownies, and I don't remember how much they were, but quite frankly, to me, I think a lot of the pricing is a tad bit overpriced here. Good morning, Mr. Mitch. Good morning. And I'll tell you what, I know a couple of people who are regular smokers here, and they both say that prices are out of whack here. Listen, growing up when I was, and this is 44 years ago, it was $1 a doobie. And you could buy a big bag of Colombian stuff, and you know, you would roll it all up, and you'd get 30 out of it, and you'd sell. You pay 25 for it, and you get a couple for yourself, and you make a couple of bucks. Anyway, this is legal here, and I understand right now it's pretty much a seller's market, and maybe the prices will come down a little bit, maybe not. I don't know. It seems like in Thailand there are a lot of things that the prices are going up, and there is inflation in Thailand, despite what some of you may think. Oh, it's so cheap. Okay. Stay here for a little while. Remember how much it was 5 years before you came, 10 years before you came, and then tell me that it's so cheap and the prices haven't gone up. And granted, there's inflation everywhere, so I'm not picking on Thailand. Anyway, my point was, getting back to the whole gist of this, most of the places that I've seen, they're not all that impressive. Now, I have been to several, and I don't even remember the names of them. Sometimes I don't even see the name. I just walk in. And yeah, they're just not that impressive. I mean, I went into one place, and actually, the guy, I don't remember what he gave me. I got some gummies. And he's like, oh, these are really strong. Now, of course, they're legal here. So, you know, no problem. I thought, I want to see if I sleep better. I didn't sleep any better. But I did feel it. Like, you know. I'm like sitting there, you know, in the zone. The stone zone. But the guy's place was not impressive. Not at all. It's like, you know, 5 jars, a few things in there. I have to be careful what I say here. And then, you know, a few little gummies. And, you know, they were, like, to me it was like you get these little tiny gummies and it's like, it's 250 baht. And I'm like, I always think, how many doses is that? How many times am I going to be able to use this? And, you know, for the price, I guess it wasn't that bad. But now that I think about it, you know, it was okay. My point being, when I say it's no big deal, I'm referring to the shops themselves. They're not a big deal yet. There are a couple that I've went to that are actually pretty damn good. And there are a couple online that are very good. For the most part, what I've seen, and there's nothing wrong with this, is people capitalizing on it. And, you know, I've said, you know, several times to the wife, we got all kinds of stuff on the land down in the south, and, you know, why not? But we never get around to it. Now, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Breda in the south, on the border of Belgium, and I've told the story many times when I was there many years ago training in Muay Thai in a Muay Thai gym in the south of the Netherlands. And one day I just decided, for some stupid reason, it was like noon and I didn't have to, I had already trained for the day. And it was like noon and I thought, oh, I have to train at like 6 o'clock or something. You know, the schedule was you train early in the morning, you get back, and usually you would sleep or you would, you know, do your errands or your laundry or whatever it was. And then in the evening you would train, and afterwards maybe all the guys would go out, and sometimes you drink a little beer, sometimes you wouldn't. And that was not a big deal because you were training very hard. Some of the best fighters in the world were drinking beer, and it wasn't a problem. And, you know, we just would go out. But one day I went out, and I went to this, and I used to have a picture of it, and for the life of me, I don't know what happened to it. It was a great photo. I was in this leather jacket, and I was yoked. I was in shape. I wasn't heavy or anything. Very fit. And I had this leather jacket on, and I had this hat on. And, you know, I liked the picture. It was right next to, what do you call it? A little boat. It wasn't really little. It was a big boat that was a cafe. And I went in and I ordered some space cakes. And I waited about 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, I had like one. And I was like, give me a couple more. And I had two. Two more. And I thought, I don't feel anything. Whatever it was, two more, whatever the quantity was. I had more. And then I was like, I got to get out of here, but let me get one more before I leave. And I was walking along. By the time I had walked maybe, 15 minutes, I was like, I don't know how to get back to the apartment, because basically I was renting an apartment and paying for the training and everything. That was how it worked. You paid for, it was all inclusive. I had a little apartment that I shared with two Japanese guys. And I got back and I finally got back. I was so smashed. I didn't know what, I laid down. I was like, man, I am hammered. And then I woke up and it was like 9 o'clock at night or something, and the Japanese guys came back and they're like, oh, you're not training, because they were just like, they would go out at night. They were animals, these Japanese guys. And they were very, very nice. They were so awesome to me, because when I left, it was like, I had a couple bags and they actually went to the train station, saw me off, helped me with my bags, it was like, where they helped me with training and stuff. One of the guys was quite a bit better than me, and the other guy was not. But they were very, very nice guys. And I got back and they said, you're not training. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. And I was still out of it. And I told the Dutch what happened, and they just laughed. But so I know that it's strong there. Sometimes though, here, I've heard of guys saying, this is 200 milligrams of this and that, and 250 on this one. This is the really strong stuff. And then I see other places going, this is 50 milligrams. Oh, this is for experienced people only, And I'm like, wow, maybe this is the disclaimer. Now, getting back to this guy's message, which is what, we're talking about, or I'm talking about. The one thing I will say is a big deal is I don't think that people should be arrested simply because they are taking part, they're indulging in the wacky tobacco. And, when I was a teenager, 16, and all the way up to about 30, 28, I used to smoke. Now, it was really from about all the way up to about 28 or so that I would, it was a regular thing. And then it tapered off, and I don't do it anymore. And I have in the past, say 5 years, a little bit. However, in the past year, I did try the edibles, and I found some good places. But for the most part, the big deal is that it is legal. People are not going to be thrown in jail for the most part. I mean, unless you do something stupid. And even then, you'll probably get off with a warning. But for the most part, it's legal. Now, also, and even more important in my opinion, is that the fact that some people are using it with cancer to help their appetite. People are using it with cancer to help their appetite, and for pain and for other reasons. I think it's perfectly okay. I'm not against it at all. So for this guy to leave a comment, what do you mean it's no big deal? It's not a big deal. To me, it's not a big deal. To me, it's like going to a lounge and having a drink. That's the same thing, not a big deal. To me, it's like going to Vegas and saying, you know what, I got $50 to blow. I'm going to go and play some slots. I'm going to go play some nickel slots or something. It's not a big deal. So get over it, please. It's just not a big deal, all right? All right, no. Let me get to the messages, and then I'll get to the news. Listen, please, do me a favor, if you would. Go to my website. It's completely new. First of all, let me know that it's working, because I've had some issues. For the most part, it's been on my end here in Thailand. And actually, let me see something here. I don't know how it works here. Yeah, there seems to be some query script error or something like that that's preventing it from loading on my laptop and also on my wife's. There's some little issues but go to anamericaninbangkok.com. If there is a problem, if you have Firefox, try viewing it on Firefox until I get it fixed. But it should be quite a bit better, I hope, than the other website. And right now I have some things up about travel and expat life and finance, but I'm going to be putting up information about Thailand and information about the Thai language and different destinations. And also I have the shop. It's still working. It works perfectly fine in any browser for some reason. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. And I've got the US dollar exchange rate to the Thai baht, the Australian dollar, British pound, Canadian dollar, and euro. And and I'll have the weather up shortly, and then I've got all the social media. I put some work into it, and I've just started. So do me a favor and go check it out if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate that. But let's just get into the news here, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, believe it or not. All right, so first of all, now you guys will like this one. I'm gonna get this one first. I don't even know. I tell you what, guys, I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl. I don't watch. Generally, I only watch the Super Bowl if I feel like it, which I've only done once in the last like 5 years. I just don't follow it anymore. I don't follow it. I don't follow baseball. I don't follow basketball. I follow the fights. That's about it. Boxing, MMA, that's it. That's all I follow in sports. I did watch a documentary the other day about tennis. It's on Netflix. Very, very good. And they had Chris Evert. She just was giving her thoughts about this one girl. And actually, I used to play in a tennis club. It was clay courts, and at the club there was a pro there who was one of the coaches, was a coach for Chris Evert when she was very young. And she, the lady used to kick the shit out of me in tennis, but I used to play a lot of tennis and I really liked the game. It's a little hard for me now with my bad hip, but let me read these. We had a couple of plants here. One got to be about 4 meters long. We really don't maintain them. Why, you just let them die, huh? Well, the other issue is that a lot of people down in the south there, you run the risk if you aren't guarding them, or you're fencing them in or something, then you run the risk of just people stealing them if you start making any money, and that's another issue. And then it is a hassle, and it's work, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with work. Where's Daniel? I didn't even see his comment. I see the comment. Stick with the joint. I'll let my friend know. Stay away from edibles. I don't know, You find a place that is consistent and reputable, I would stick with it. And if anybody really wants to know, I have a couple of places that you can contact online, through Line, and they will give you some good edibles. Now, I don't do them. I haven't done them. One of the reasons I stopped is, first, I'll give you the reasons. One, they have sugar in them. Now, one place in particular said if I order a couple thousand baht at a time, they will make me sugar-free cookies, sugar-free brownies, whatever I want. Okay. I can get around that. I can have them make it like, make them keto. I could do that if I wanted. But what I found was that if they were a little bit too strong, I started getting, stoned and stupid. I'm just sitting there, what am I going to do now? And I remember that feeling. And while some people enjoy that, and I understand it helps people relax, and to each his own, I just don't think for me that it does enough positive to just, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I think it was sativa. I had a blend, the blend thing in indica sativa mix. And and I don't know all that much about this stuff anymore. This is, out of my wheelhouse. I did get a message from our buddy Fred, Mr. Fred, who moved to Pattaya, and I had recommended he didn't, and now things are okay with him. Yeah, I might try to watch that, Andy. That's good. You know, I have told a story before where I made I made a killing once on Matchbook.com. I think it's Matchbook. Matchbook.com. This is probably, well, it was when I lived in the old house, and it was Nadal and Federer playing. I think it was Wimbledon. I don't know. I don't remember. You know, unimportant. I just took the money and ran, and it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it was like, you know, they went to tiebreaker, and it was like, you know, 2 sets all, and I kept going, I want to put it on this one, put it on this one, and it was a little bit of money that I had started with, and I ended up making a bundle. I mean, you know, it was like, I don't know how much, but it paid the bills for the month, and you know, I'm not doing that now, but I like tennis. I really like tennis a lot, so I may watch that tonight. Anyway, I digress once again, as I often do. Let's get to the news of the last week or so. You guys might like this. Of course you will. Wife assaults sex worker after discovering husband's infidelity at a brothel. A woman in Phuket, Thailand was caught on camera attacking a sex worker in a brothel after discovering photos of her husband with the worker on his phone. The incident occurred this past Wednesday when the woman followed her husband to the brothel located in Phuket. There's brothels in Phuket? I didn't know that. Though her husband had already left the establishment, the woman found the sex worker sitting on a chair and proceeded to attack her. That's not very nice. The footage shows the woman grabbing a towel from the worker and exposing her naked body before launching a series of kicks and slaps that lasted over 5 minutes. At one point, the woman even stood on top of the worker and pulled her hair while attempting to snatch her phone. Several other women were present and witnessed the attack. Now, on my website, after this stream is completed, there will be a summary of this. Well, it's not even a summary. This video will go, this stream will go up. Also, though, I have a photo. Is it one photo? I think it's one photo of the wife standing over the woman who was the mistress. And also, I have the video. So if you go to the website and you find it, you will see that it's online, and it will be up at about 11 o'clock. Antarak Patin, a lawyer who was given the details of the alleged attack, said that the incident took place at a brothel in Phuket, where the younger woman was caught having an affair with the attacker's husband. He also added that the assault is a criminal offense and the victim can report it to the police. I think the attack is extremely severe because several people were in the room and witnessed the slapping and stripping. The wife stripped her. It was unacceptable that the woman was stripped naked. It should be fully investigated. The sex worker in the video can be heard apologizing and asking forgiveness, saying, I didn't know he had a wife. I will stop seeing the brothel, which was equipped with sex toys, mirrors, sex chairs, and used tissues. That's just too much information. Was reported to charge around 2,000 baht for an hour with one of the women. Colonel Sarawut Chuprasit from the Muang Phuket Provincial Police Station stated the police are now investigating the incident. Officers are checking where the incident occurred. Nobody recognizes that massage place. There have been no complaints from any of the people involved, but I encourage the victim to report the incident to the police. We will investigate it urgently for them. There have been no complaints from any of the police. Okay, all right, well, I guess that's something that needs to be taken care of here. All right, so like I said, the video and a photo of the incident is up on my website, as well as the stream will be up. It's all in the same place. It's Thailand's weekend recap summary of the top stories. So if you want to take a look for yourself and see what went down, the video is online, and like I said, it'll be up at about 11 o'clock. All right, let me see here. What was I looking at here? Oh, give me 1 second. Seems reasonable. I wouldn't know. Okay. Let me get to the next article here. I gotta update something here real quick that I found. Okay. Hey, you know, things happen, and this is not the first time that this has happened. This has happened numerous times in the past, and it's been reported. You know, this kind of things happen in this environment. Controversy surrounds Cambodia's renaming of kickboxing as Kun Khmer at the SEA Games. The SEA Games are taking place, I believe it's next month, or maybe it's in May. When was it? Let me see if I got the dates on here. It shows you how good my memory is. I do remember seeing, oh, I need to go there. May 5th to May 17th. Now, let me give you a little insight. I've been to Cambodia many times, and I've covered the kickboxing scene there, and it is called Kun Khmer Buran, which is like ancient fighting, ancient boxing. And the Cambodians always say, hey, we are the ones where this originated from. And the Thais are like, no, the sport originated from Thailand. So they have this real beef between the two countries. I mean, it is, let's just put it this way. You don't want to go and start a problem by saying to some Cambodian, in Cambodia especially, that Kun Khmer is really supposed to be called Muay Thai. It's not the best way to start a discussion. The schedule for the kickboxing between May 5th and May 17th, oh, it was right in front of me, includes references to Muay Thai. However, the sport will now be referred to, and it is, if you look at their website, to the Khmer name, and it follows Cambodian rules and regulations. This means that the rules and regulations of Kun Khmer will differ from those of Muay Thai, which are recognized by the International Olympic Committee. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but there seem to be some little script errors and stuff. But once it loads, it's great. I'm working with the developer to figure out what's going on. Anyway, this is Muay Thai is an Olympic sport. Okay, the IOC stipulated that all official tournaments of Muay Thai must be supervised by the International Federation of Muay Thai associations. Yeah, I'm not even going there, Gennaro. I understand this, and but I don't know what to think, quite honestly. The Amateur Muay Thai Association of Thailand has announced that they will not be sending athletes to compete in kickboxing at this year's SEA Games unless the host country switches to using Muay Thai rules under the IFMA supervision. Mr. Sakchia Tapsuwan, the president of both the IFMA and AMTAT, which is the Amateur Muay Thai Association of Thailand, let's see here, says that Thailand is considered the birthplace of Muay Thai, and as a result, it is a popular destination for kickboxing athletes worldwide seeking authentic training in the sport. There are over 1,000 Muay Thai gyms and several Muay Thai associations in Thailand, but only the Amateur Muay Thai Association of Thailand has been approved by the Sports Authority of Thailand, which allows it to add Thailand to its name. Now, I will say this. I used to cover boxing in Thailand and in Southeast Asia. And what I can say about Thailand is that I'm confused by it. I'm confused by how they go about dictating things, regulating things, and recording fights. Yeah, that might be a good idea, Daniel. Thanks. I went to the Sports Authority of Thailand, and they have their organization, and I also went to the Professional Boxing Association of Thailand, and nobody knew. Well, I could not get a straight answer as to who does what and you know, where things go, like records and things like that. Thai law states that each sport can have one association to represent the country. The Amateur Muay Thai Association of Thailand can send Thai athletes to compete in international Thailands in the name of Thailand, such as the World Games and SEA Games. Cambodia's decision to change the name to Kun Khmer and to host the sport without supervision is wrong and cannot be done. He explained that in hosting any international sporting event, the organizer must coordinate with the international authority responsible for the sport, such as FIFA for football, IBA for the Association International de Boxing Amateur and for boxing, and IFMA for Muay Thai. Furthermore, the organizer must follow the rules and regulations of their respective authority. And basically, in the Thais' viewpoint, the Cambodians are flaunting this, and they are basically saying, we don't care. Originally, Cambodia had earlier discussed with Thailand to name the sport Kun Khmer Muay, but later cut out the last part in the technical handbook for athletes, prompting the Amateur Association, the Amateur Muay Thai Association of Thailand to decide not to send athletes to the games, which is that's a shame. He added that IFMA has alerted all 148 member countries that sending athletes to an event not sponsored by IFMA will result in punishment. Changing the name for any purpose is not acceptable. He adds that the name change of Thailand's Takraw to Sipak Takraw was a different case as the sport shares its origin. I just thought you guys might want to know that, but there is a beef. It's a very real beef, believe me. And I mean, I haven't really covered anything in about 10 or 11 years. 11 years. Even more. And I just remember. And I actually went to, there's a guy, he's a very famous champion, and he's a trainer now. You know, he's older, not much older now. I went to his parents' house. His name was Ebyutong. And he was a Cambodian champion. And I actually saw him win a couple of fights, and I saw him get knocked out. I don't know if I've told this story, but he got knocked out by some guy from like Cameroon, or I can't remember where he's from, but he was from Africa. And he got knocked out, and the Cambodians went absolutely berserk. And I got out, man. It was like people were trying to get outside and get, you know, they made for the door. And then the thing is, it was all fenced in. And the only way that I was able to get to get out was this Cambodian guy put his hands down, you know, like this. I put my foot in his hands. He pushed me up, and I got on top of a trailer, and I had to jump down from the top of a trailer over a barbed wire fence. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And anyway, I went to his parents' house once, which was it was interesting to me, speaking to his parents, speaking to him. So they take, you know, they have just as much pride in their sport as they do in here in Thailand. However, what I would say is in Thailand, I don't know about now because it's been a long time, but back in the day, the Cambodians, some of them, they were so poor, they didn't really have the means, and I'm talking about they didn't have enough food to be able to really, they couldn't get the proper diet. They just didn't, they didn't have the money to really commit 120%, which is what's needed, and like they do in Thailand. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, real quick, down in Phuket, there are fines were issued of 10,000 baht per jet ski and parasail to operators at Surin Beach. The Phuket Marine Office has begun enforcing restrictions on jet skis and parasail boats in the sea near Surin Beach, which is now prohibited for motorized marine sports. Officials were sent to the beach after receiving complaints about jet skis and parasail boats operating too close to the shore, creating hazards and disturbances for tourists. 5 jet skis and 1 parasail boat were found, and their owners were questioned and had their operating licenses checked. The jet skis were licensed for use off of Bang Tao Beach, while the parasail boat was permitted for use off Kamala Beach. All were fined 10,000 baht for violating the prohibited zone at Surin Beach. The Phuket administration aims to keep Surin Beach free from marine sports for the safety of swimmers. Now, the reason that I found this to be important, first of all, I will never take a jet ski anywhere unless it's my own jet ski. And the reason being, I don't trust the jet ski operators. Even nowadays, I just don't trust them. That's a bad thing for tourism here. I mean, that's not a good thing. You know, you've heard all the stories about the jet skis, you know, oh, you wrecked our boat, you wrecked our vehicle or vessel, whatever. You scratched it all up, you've got to pay. And the guy's like, no, I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? And these kind of things going on. However, the reason that I find this important is because why are they not doing this with taxi drivers who commit some serious offense? And I'm not talking about somebody who decides, oh, I don't want to pick you up. Hey, for something like that, don't charge them 500 baht if they're found guilty. Charge them 3,000. Charge them 3,000. Put them on the payment plan. You know, now, if they commit something serious, like they threaten the passenger or something, charge them 5 or 10,000 baht. You start putting these kind of fines on people, then they might shape up. You start charging people 500 baht for even for a taxi driver. They can come up with the money pretty easily. If by chance they don't have the money, they can get the money pretty easily. Okay? So, you know, I think it's important. And yeah, I would not jump on a jet ski and rent a jet ski. Now, if by chance you want to be the guy who doesn't want to take the advice, okay, I understand. If they're not all scammers, you know, you want to have your fun, you don't really care, blah, 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 okay. Take photos of every single millimeter of that jet ski. You have, most people nowadays have a cell phone with a camera. Take photos, the left, right, from the top, from the back, from the front, from underneath. Make sure everything works before you drive off with it. And, you know, I think that's the way that you deal with that. You know, it's kind of like taking a tuk-tuk, except worse, in my opinion. Some of the tuk-tuks, they're perfectly acceptable, you know? So let me get to some of these messages here. What is all this? The Muay Thai side again. Cambodia and Thailand are always a conflict over claiming possession things. Well, there's still an issue with it, Jim. There's still an issue. It's called the Pre-Vihir. And you can get there from the Thailand side, or you can get there from the Cambodian side. And we being 2Q Asia and myself went there together. We went there. We went to Cambodia. I don't know how many trips we've taken together, but several. And we went there, and actually we went into the viewing area where the soldiers check each other out. They have their binoculars and they're sitting on either side of the border. And the Cambodians have theirs high up. And we went and we sat there with them and watched the other side. They have high-powered, binoculars or a telescope, whatever. But that temple was really cool. It was worth the journey there. It's called the Pre Vihir. And that was the one with like almost, I think it was 2,574 steps or something like that. And I think one of the guys that was with us, I won't mention his name, and it was not 2Q Asia. He, after about, I don't know, 200 steps, he's like, that's it, I'm done. He was exhausted. Anyway, I heard some will use water-based paint to cover the scratches so that when you take it out of the water, you'll be paying for the scratches. I know, that's what I mean. I don't trust them. I wouldn't do it. They got all kinds of little tricks. The other day I took a taxi and the guy was just sitting there, you know. I took a taxi from here. And there was a little bit of traffic. So I thought, it's going to cost me 55, 60 baht to get home. But I noticed that his meter was going up extremely quick. And I was like, something's not right, man. This guy's tampered with this. And I was looking at the time, how much time. I mean, I wasn't going to, get into a fight with the guy over it or anything. I wasn't going to argue with him over 10 baht. But I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. This was like a 14-minute journey and it's only like 0.3 kilometers. I was looking at the numbers, it didn't add up. I'm like, I think this guy, something's wrong with, maybe his meter is wrong. I didn't say anything. It was 71 baht. I gave him 70 baht. Because I knew, he's not going to complain about the 1 baht. Never met a taxi driver yet that complains about the one baht. Good morning, Joe. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. For those just joining us. I don't ride motorcycles or jet skis here, and I'm certainly not riding them in Thailand. I used to ride motorcycles all the time. I can't say that I won't ride them. I wouldn't ride in Bangkok. I probably wouldn't in Phuket either. Over in Sankalburi, I have ridden. And also in Myanmar, I also rode. Because it's basically the only way to get around easily and cheaply and conveniently. Tuk-tuks here are all pretty much on the up and up, very courteous. Yeah, I found that to be true in Chiang Mai as well. You got to be careful. That's all. I mean, they're not all crooks. Let's not overdo it here. Let's not push it. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. And what I really hope for is that they start raising the fines for taxi drivers. It's going to take another incident, and while the Thai government is supposedly frightened of losing out on its tourism, they also, I believe, they're counting on the Chinese and the Chinese tour groups, and they don't really care about some people having little issues. I mean, they can't care about a small portion of people complaining about some issue with a driver, or, I mean, let's face it, they can't take care of everything. All right, let me get back to it here, because there are other things to talk about. Riding a motorcycles in the big cities is insane. I use mine to do local errands, so I don't have to look for parking. The more I ride my motorcycle here, the more I want to buy a car. I always say this, but and I don't always like paying. And that's why I took the minivans to go to that temple, the Dragon Temple, the Wat Sampran. I took minivans. I took the taxi on the way home because I still saved money. I took a taxi off the street. He didn't charge me a flat fee. It wasn't like a grab fee. I ended up paying 460 baht to get home from that Wat Sampran. But it cost me 140 to get to it. Now, it would have cost me 1,500 baht if I took a taxi both ways. So the one good thing is that I always look at it like I'm going to have my own personal chauffeur. And while you may think, oh, these guys are terrible drivers and all this, now at least they got a point system here. And if they're driving every day, what I find, especially the motorcycle drivers, if they're not driving insanely fast, most of them are pretty damn good drivers. Better than me. I love having my truck here, especially during rainy season. It was a blessing during the flooding, yeah. We have thought many times about getting an automobile, but I think all in all, because the transportation is so convenient for us, for all of us, with the exception of Nicholas, and really he gets on a bus, I think he takes 2 buses and a song towel. It takes him 2 hours to get from his place to ours. But that's about what it takes if you take a taxi. So, all right, let's go on to the next bit of fun. Speaking of fines, here in Bangkok, Erawan Shrine vendors cautioned by tourist police against overcharging pilgrims. Tourist police in Bangkok have issued a warning to vendors at the Brahma Shrine, also known as the Erawan Shrine, against overcharging pilgrims. I gotta say, it smells really good. I'm hungry. I'm waiting for my 2 o'clock feeding, and I'm a little bit hungry right now. The warning came after a viral video showed a group of Chinese tourists spending more than 13,000 baht to buy offerings from vendors. Well, I guess it depends on how many of them and what they were buying, but the tourist police deputy commander Major General Apichat Surebunya stated that he has instructed police officers responsible for the religious site to prevent vendors from overcharging, and that no further complaints have been received from tourists after the warning was issued. Yeah, well, like many things in Thailand, sometimes things taper off or things are non-existent, and then all of a sudden, a month goes by and they're back in business, things are back the way they used to be. So we'll have to see. Vendors have been advised to disclose prices of goods to prospective customers in advance. I don't know why you wouldn't do that anyway. Why would you just go, I want that, and there's no price on it. I want that. Maybe because you figure it's not that expensive. I want those flowers. How much can they be? Oh, these are 4,000 baht because they're special flowers. That's what they'll try and do. And the Chinese might just be shaking their head and then they end up paying. It's also noticed the vendors outside the shrine tend to sell garlands and other offerings at higher prices than those inside the shrine's compound. But this is considered normal by the authorities. Okay. Hey, it's free market. You really want to do something, get the stuff before you go in. The Erawan Shrine, a popular place of worship, is located in front of the Grand Hyatt Erawan Hotel at Ratchaprasong intersection and is visited by both locals and foreign tourists here in Southeast Asia. Oh, wow. All right, this next one is a bit weird. But hey, like I said, please visit my website if you would. I'd appreciate it. And maybe get yourself a shirt, whether it's the Aussie in an Aussie in Thailand, an American in Bangkok, like this one. What is it? Life's an Adventure, Bar Girl Lives Matter. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Check it out. Get something for yourself. Help support the channel. That way you get something for it, or buy one of my books. Everything's on the channel, down in the description as well, or on the website and on the channel. I have seen a guy get smacked, man, walking across Sukhumvit. This is many years ago. There was no little fence, little I don't know what they call it, little divider, little block. It acts as a deterrent for people to walk across the street. They didn't have them back in the day. And this guy was running across the street. There was no crosswalk. And I guess the car, as people do, they're looking down at their phone or looking down. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe phones weren't that prevalent back then. It's been that far back. But maybe the guy just, lost his concentration. Next thing I know, I see this guy flying through the air, and he went rolling. And then, traffic was stopped. The guy could barely move. He did manage to get up, and I think he was okay. But I've seen numerous accidents. I, rode by accidents, and the roads here are a bit dangerous, so you got to be careful. I've been in not a motorcycle accident, but a taxi got into an accident. I was on my way home from the boxing gym in Pinklao at the time, and I was on Lat Prao, and I had fallen asleep. And the next thing I know, I went flying up against the back of the seat, and what had happened was the taxi. Okay, thank you. Anyway, the guy had an accident, and I went flying, and then I was like, what the hell's going on, man? What happened? I was asleep. And I was lucky. I wasn't really hurt. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, plus myself, plus the workers here right now. Like I said, on February 1st, this place is closed for 5 months. I'm still in shock over that. If you start thinking from a Thai perspective, it isn't difficult to drive here. I probably have done 20,000 miles since I got here, kilometers since I got here. Yeah, I don't know, you want to think like the Thai perspective. If you think about all the accidents they have and how deadly the roads are, I don't know that that's the best way to approach it, but I understand what you're saying, because you might be more apt to just watch where you're going, make sure no one's in front of you, make sure you just worry about yourself, and you stay in your own lane, and if you're going to change lanes, you better be careful. You guys with the hottie alerts. Let's see here. Where are we? Okay, we're gonna get to this next piece here, which I wanted to save this for last, but you know what? I'm not going to. I'm gonna just cover this, get this out of the way right now. Because it needs to be said, and it needs to be heard, and I guess you got to believe it, but it says here, from what I'm reading, don't believe the hype. Peeing in your nose won't cure sinusitis, says the Thai Medical Services Department. If you guys know about boxing, there was a fighter. He's a very well-known, and at least to boxing pundits, he is very, very well-known. Juan Manuel Marquez. He knocked out Manny Pacquiao, absolutely starched him with one punch. He also got beat by him, but he's a great, great fighter. Nice guy. I hung out with him for a week in Borneo when he had a fight with an Indonesian fighter. And he used to drink his own piss. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it. I saw him in the Philippines as well. I still didn't talk to him about it, but anyway. let me get to this. This is a dandy. And no, this was not said by the former president. This is said by the Thai Medical Services Department, who issued a warning to the public not to believe or share media reports claiming that dripping urine into the nose can cure sinusitis, as it is considered untrue. Well, I got a deviated septum. I don't know how bad it is, or at least I think it's a deviated septum. I don't know. Something's wrong. Either that or I got really bad allergies. But I'm not dripping piss in my nose. Anyway, they say that don't believe this as it is untrue. The department stated there is no scientific evidence to support the claim that urine is effective in treating sinusitis, despite the presence of chemical substances such as sodium chloride, calcium, and urea. They urge the public to consult with a qualified medical professional for accurate information and treatment of illnesses. The public can access reliable medical information from the Medical Services Department by visiting their website at www.dms.go.th. I'm going to put that link here. I know that nobody is probably going to use them, but I'm going to put it in as my public service duty. I'm going to put this in. Yeah, listen, as far as traffic goes, I gotta say, the traffic in Hua Hin, the traffic in Pattaya, the traffic in Chiang Mai, all of the traffic has increased dramatically in the past few years. To the point where I'm like, I can't believe there's this much traffic. And like I said earlier, it's gotten more expensive for me just if I want to take a taxi home because I got a bunch of groceries and I can't lug them around. I mean, I got a big, huge bag of groceries and I don't want to have to carry it and then try to take it on a motorcycle or go on a song town. Just jump in a taxi. It used to be 35, 40 baht. Now it's 60 or 70 baht. And, you know, we're talking as recent as, say, 5 years ago. I mean, that's what I'm remembering. It could have been even less, could have been a little bit more. But traffic is just murder, and they're doing something here in the front. You can't see it. They're doing something to the pipes and maybe the drainage system here, which is maybe one of the reasons why they have it blocked off. The main thing they have to do is connect up this what do you call it, the flyby, the ramp that goes over for people that want to get farther down the road. And then you keep testing the monorail, but supposedly in about 2 months, it'll be 3 months, it'll be completed. And I don't know, I really wonder if it's going to help, because there's still people going to have to get to this area. I'm still going to have to get, if I want to take a monorail to get out of here, I'm still going to have to get here. I'm still going to have to take a motorbike. Now, it'll be a little easier for me, but what about if you live a little ways down the road and you got to take a taxi or whatever? I don't know if, how much it's going to free up traffic. It might free traffic up significantly. I don't know. So far, Kanchanaburi, the traffic didn't seem to be anywhere near as bad as these other areas, but then the last time I went, there weren't many tourists. So, all right, enough about the urine and the traffic. Enough about that. Is it safer to be a pedestrian or a motorcyclist in Pattaya? I'm going to say a pedestrian, because they have sidewalks. Wow, this place is packed now. Yeah, I don't know where Carlos is right now, or how he's feeling, or if he's going to be around. But I need to go to Pattaya because I want to I want to get some drone footage of the Pattaya sign. And it was a bit windy the last time I was there, and I just didn't get down in that area. I just didn't go there. So I didn't get the shot, but I mean to go down there, and maybe a little meetup would be nice. There's quite a few people there that would like to meet up. I may go through Kanchanaburi. I don't know that I'm going to spend the night there or what I'm going to do. But you can go to Kanchanaburi by train and then go to Sangkhlaburi by minivan, or you can take a minivan all the way to Sangkhlaburi. But it might be nice just to stop there for a night. So I'm thinking, it's only like about maybe 4 nights, but I want to make sure of when this Mon Festival is, if it's at all possible. So, all right, let me get to this next article, which it applies to most of you tourists or visitors, part-timers, whatever. Oh, wait a minute, there's 2 more, sorry. I'm gonna get to the short one first. Okay, a gunman was denied a free room at a Rayong resort, and because of this, he opened fire, injuring the owner, and also, I believe he injured himself. I don't know that he injured the owner, but I don't know why I wrote that. And also a police officer. It was a wild night at a Rayong resort when a guest decided to take things up a notch by pulling out a gun and demanding a free room stay. The resort owner, Tanapiset Tanaratiwat, 42, was understandably in a bit of a panic as the guest, later identified as Munkong Tanawichit, 31, fired at him and drove him to find cover. That sucks. When the police arrived, by the way, I found out what that loud humming noise is that sometimes happens here. It is the air conditioner, because it takes quite a bit of time to start up, and there's a problem with it, and for whatever reason they haven't fixed it. Anyway, let me get back to this. When the police arrived, they found the gunman hiding in room number 10. But things didn't exactly go smoothly from there. Despite officers' best efforts to convince him to surrender, Munkong was speaking incoherently and brandishing a .38 pistol. In an attempt to incapacitate him, one officer shot him in the back with an electroshock weapon, but Munkong was able to fire back as he fled. The shooter eventually shot and injured an officer before he was shot in the leg and then taken in custody. It was discovered that he had 200 methamphetamine tablets and the pistol on him, which were both seized as evidence. Munkong was taken to Rayong Hospital for treatment, but once he leaves, he'll be facing charges for his wild night at the resort. The injured officer is no longer in critical condition. So that's good. I don't know what to say about that. There's some crazy people out there, and there's a reason, like I said, probably the last stream, and I'm always saying it, there's a reason why they call it Yaba. Because you take that medicine and it makes you go crazy. If not at first, eventually. So, I would not want to use that stuff, Well, listen, they could have shot him in the head. In the United States, they might have shot him in the head. A guy's got a weapon in his hand. They tell him to put it down. He doesn't put it down, boom. They might shoot him. This guy's lucky he came out alive. Maybe he can get some help and he'll get off that stuff and do his time, and that's it. And, the officer's trying to do his job. This guy ends up shooting him. Oh, man. Feeling safe on the sidewalk as a pedestrian is questionable, as they are shortcuts for motorbike. Yeah, but in Pattaya, Jim, there are many, many sidewalks. And I don't see motorcycles riding down the sidewalk nearly as much here in Bangkok and in Pattaya as they used to, because they started finding them. Listen, it's all great until you hit some old lady who happens to turn at the wrong time. The motorcycle runs her over, breaks her leg or whatever. She falls down, oh, my aching leg. Boom, she falls down. I saw something about this. I haven't had a chance to, to see what happened in this latest incident. And as far as the Philippines, listen, I could say, if I wanted to, I could just completely bash Thailand all the time. I don't. There's a lot of great things about Thailand, and you know what? You got to give the Philippines its props. There's a reason why a lot of foreigners like to go there. And it's not only the women. There's a lot of great things about the Philippines. I don't like a few things, but I don't like a few things in Thailand. And some of the things in the Philippines for me, some of the things in Thailand make it a better place for me, for someone with my temperament, with what I want. It's just a better fit for me, that's all. I don't hate the Philippines or anything like that, and I don't think really, I think anybody who is bashing a country and they're living there, and I don't mean, I'm going to bash them for doing this or that. They did something foolish again, or this is another bad thing they've done. I think you got to look at the big picture. I mean, look at what's going on in the United States. Oh, the United States is such a terrible place. You can say that, but there are some fantastic things about the United States, and there are many, many happy people there. So, I just take it with a grain of salt. You can take what I say with a grain of salt. That makes no difference to me. I'm here to inform and entertain and, provide a little bit of useful and non-useful or, information that's not so useful. And, that's about it. You take it with a grain of salt. Now, I would not want to be in a position where I'm forcing the cops to shoot me. What is it? Suicide by police, or I forget what it's called. Anyway, let me get to the last article of the day. And this you guys can relate to, and I have a feeling most are not going to particularly think kindly of it. And if I wanted to bash Thailand about something, I could bash it about this. From one perspective, I understand, but I also think that sometimes hotels or whoever is being talked about, sometimes you just need to eat it and understand that people are entitled to their opinions. And maybe, you get taxi drivers who are pissed off about Grab and Bolt and InDriver or whatever. Okay, I understand it's affecting their livelihood, but guess what? Maybe if there weren't some of the people doing, some of the taxi drivers doing some of the things to tourists and to Thais alike, not just tourists, but Thais alike, people wouldn't be so gung-ho to do it. Maybe if a guy was sitting in a particular area, and just because he was sitting like next to a hotel or next to a village area where a lot of people are, and he just goes, 200 baht. No. Maybe just be decent. Turn the meter on. That's all. Turn the meter on. Provide the ride. Get me from point A to point B. That's it. Now, let me get into this here. Thai hotel threatens to sue guest over negative review, demands 3 million baht penalty. And what I'm going to say about this happened about 3 weeks ago. And I just saw it. But I saw some updates, and so I decided to give it a view. And this kind of thing has happened more and more. And obviously we know that sometimes if you say the wrong thing, you can get in trouble here. But let me read this. It is not the first time, but a hotel in Thailand is threatening to sue a customer over a negative review they left after their stay. The hotel, located in the northeastern province of Nakhon Ratchasima, close to the popular tourist destination of Khao Yai National Park, is threatening a 3 million baht lawsuit over a review where the past guests rated the hotel at 6 out of 10. Okay. first of all, I'm going to get into one of the other incidents, recent incidents that happened, which is just ridiculous. Second of all, if I'm not allowed to give a review, then what good are the reviews without repercussions? Now, if I was maliciously attacking a hotel, trying to bring it down, if my review was what I was attempting to do, or I had said something that was completely out of line about a hotel. This particular hotel that I stayed at, all the staff were dummies, and the people helping me didn't know what they were doing, and the place was filthy, and it wasn't. Then, okay, I understand maybe, somebody gets charged with something, or at the very least, they just take down the review. And they'd have to do it quickly. Now, that's the problem. The woman, known only as Ms. King, stayed at the property last month and left what she believed was an anonymous review on a travel agency website on December 19th. In her review, she said that the hotel was overpriced for the experience received and gave it a medium rating of 6 out of 10. To me, that's nothing horrible. That's my take on it. That's the truth as I see it. I tore up a hotel there a month or two ago online. Fortunately, did it on Facebook and did not mention the name. Well, so then what good does it do? If you cannot mention the name of the hotel, and actually, if you're going to name the name of the hotel, you should be able to name your own name without repercussions, without worrying about somebody attacking you, without worrying about somebody suing you. You should be able to do that. And the thing is, if you're going to say something extremely negative about a place, then you really need to give your names. That's my thinking. In the Philippines, it's very good for diving and snorkeling, but other than that, not much going on here, but still nice. Name had been mentioned in separate posts. Okay. The Philippines has some great diving, as does the south of Thailand. Unfortunately, at my age and with my ribs being fractured and my lung having collapsed twice, I need to really get tested before I do any scuba diving. I can go snorkeling, and that's not a problem, but it's something I do kind of miss. Listen, if I get a GoPro, I may start having to train my lungs a little bit more so I can stay down longer, because I don't think I'll ever scuba dive again. I always check out reviews before booking hotels, except the hotels in the small towns. Well, you know what? We went to a place, and that video is going to be going up in the next 2 weeks, one of the first videos of our trip to Chiang Mai. But we went to Chiang Dao, and we went to a little rinky-dink hotel, and there was nobody even there. I'm like, what? There's nobody at the hotel? So we ended up taking the taxi that had taken us there back to another place that was just a kind of, I don't want to call it rinky-dink, but it was like a 2-star hotel. And actually it turned out to be fine. It was fine, It wasn't all that much money, and it was fine. If there's one thing hotel restaurants in Thailand fear, are honest reviews. Even if you can back it up with pics, they all get bent out of shape. If you remember, there was a guy, I'm not going to mention his name, but he happens to live in, I think he's Scottish. Is he Irish? I always forget, man. And he fell through a balcony. I think it was on the first floor. He was out he had a towel wrapped around him, and he didn't have anything on. He fell through, and he tried to get the hotel to compensate him for it, for his pain and suffering, and the fact that, they really ought to be built better. And they were like, no, and he ended up paying for another place to stay or something, but he didn't want to leave a review because he didn't want to get in trouble, which is ridiculous. I've been staying at 3 to 4 hotels a month. I've seen the full spectrum of ratings. Listen, I've stayed at a ton of hotels in my life, and most of the time I am easy, extremely easy. I want it to be clean with no bed bugs. I need it to be, depending on where I am, it needs to have a fan or air conditioning that works, and is not like you're going to get air conditioning that doesn't work, because then it's worthless. And if possible, I like hot water. If they don't have hot water, that's not a deal breaker for me. And the service doesn't have to be over the top or anything. They just need to be somewhat pleasant. And if you ask them a question, they don't ignore you. And for me, that's a decent hotel. I'm not going to complain. I need to learn how to use the GoPro 8, but I have to carry stuff. I don't know how you can do it. Yeah, it ain't easy. And as I get older, I've begun carrying less and less stuff, and I have been whittling down things. I'm trying to, I want to get this GoPro 11 or whatever. I may wait until I go to the States. I'm going to need a new laptop. My laptop needs a repair. It's not closing all the way, which I don't know if it just needs a cleaning or what it is. I'm going to need a new phone. I got an iPhone 8 Plus. It still works great, but I know the day is going to come when this thing is going to take a dump. I always want to get the equipment that can do the most, and is the least intrusive, and for me the lightest and smallest, so I don't have to lug around a whole bunch of gear, because I've done that. And as I told you guys before, I covered the Beijing Olympics, man, and I had 2 or 3 cameras, bodies. I had like 4 lenses. I had I had a tripod and a monopod. I had, batteries. I had like 8 batteries or something like that. I just had a ton of stuff, and I had to like march up in this bird's nest stadium and go to the top, because that's where the photographers were sitting. And it was horrible, man. I mean, it was not easy. I mean, you're lugging 50 pounds of gear on your back, and there's no other way to get up. Nobody's going to help you. I didn't have a little helper or anything like that. Good morning, Mr. Robert Mack Media. Anyway, let me continue with this, because it's a bit irritating. Upon reading the review, the hotel went berserk and was able to identify the woman who left the review. Now, how were they able to do that? It's supposed to be anonymous. That would piss me off if I think it's anonymous and then I get ratted out. Good morning, everybody. Sawandi Cup to everybody. They then served her notice demanding that the review be removed from the website and that a 3 million baht penalty be paid within 15 days. Come on. You gotta be kidding me. That's outright, in my opinion, only my opinion, that's like blackmailing someone. 100 grand? They ought to pay her for leaving a review. They ought to pay her $50. My opinion, of course, only. Not satisfied with that extreme threat, they also ordered the guest to publish a public apology every day for 7 days in 5 major Thai language newspapers. Now, I don't know if this woman is Thai, and I do know the name of the hotel. I'm not gonna mention it on the stream, because I don't want any problems. But to me, this is highly excessive. The fact that they got pissed off, listen, you got to deal with the good and the bad. And, I know this. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to like the service you provide, the product you provide. It happens. And, they just need to learn to get over it. And they're so thin-skinned, these hotels. That was one big dude. Big. He must have been pushing about 275 pounds, and he was solid. 250, I'll say. He was solid as a rock. Anyway, let me go on here. The woman was threatened with a 50,000 baht. This is like This is way too much. It's way over the top. The woman was threatened with a 50,000 baht penalty per day if she failed to comply with a 3 million baht fee, the week of apologies, and the removal of her only somewhat negative review. How is it that negative? Hey, I think this place is overpriced. You know, it's not a great value. I give it a 6 out of 10. And, well, if you want to know the name of it, get in touch with me. I'll give you the name. I'll direct you to the website that has the name. I can't give you the name because, you know, I don't want to get in any trouble. But this kind of thing really frustrates me, pisses me off. And, you know, a lot of the hotels, they're struggling. They're trying to make ends meet. They want to make a buck. They want everybody to be happy. They know. The hotel industry is a tough racket. But to do this is, to me, in my opinion, it's almost akin to, it is blackmail. Feeling threatened and shaken. Imagine, I get a notice. You got 15 days, buddy. You got to pay 3 million baht. What? 3 million baht? For what? For leaving a 6 review out of 10? It's just, it's stupid. And she needs to take them to court. She was so shaken and threatened that the woman contacted the lawyers for the People Foundation, who took on the case pro bono, and when she asked whether the hotel had legal grounds to pursue compensation from her, when all she did was write and what she considered an honest review of the property she stayed at. She also wanted to know how the hotel got her name. Now that would piss me off. You submit a private, anonymous message through a travel agency. To me, the travel agency must have, they were either sloppy or they flat out gave the name. She also wanted to know whether how the hotel got her name and whether the travel agency website had given it to them, as they had already removed the negative review, likely due to similar threats. Now, see, this is the thing. Why do you have to take it down? If it wasn't something malicious, you shouldn't have to take it down. And I think this is, listen, this is a problem for tourism here. This is a problem for tourism here and anywhere else that happens. Lawyers are investigating who deleted the post, since it was not the guest, and what direct contact the hotel and travel agency website had regarding the case. And they can find these things out. It might take them a while. Who knows? You know, maybe they can delete some of the information. I don't know, but I would think they can find this out. In America, the police would find this out. This is not the first time that writing a negative hotel review in Thailand has led to legal trouble. In September 2020, during the very, very slow period here in Thailand, the slow period for tourism, you know, the 3-year period, which I'm not going to get into. An American tourist, Wesley Barnes, wrote an unflattering review of his stay at the Seaview Resort on Trat Province Island in the Gulf of Thailand. The resort's owner filed an official complaint about the unfair review, leading to the criminal charges being filed, and Barnes serving time in a Thai jail and being forced to redact the hotel review. Now, I remember this, and I don't remember, but I thought that he had some grudge to grind with them, or he said some really hateful things that, you know, you need to keep it as, first of all, I think if you're going to give a negative review, and I think this woman did this, I think she kept it, don't get personal, it's business only, and it's very succinct, to the point, and that's it. Anyway, in response, Travel Advisor added a banner on the resort's listing warning people that leaving a negative review could land you in prison. This warning remains on the page today. Okay, I think that's a good thing. Although, I think something needs to be done here in the system, but I think, is it important enough to the Thai government to make the change? Maybe not. I don't know. The hotel or individuals associated with the hotel filed criminal charges against a TripAdvisor user in relation to the traveler writing and posting online reviews. The reviewer spent time in jail as a result. TripAdvisor serves It's users best when travelers are free to share their opinions and experiences on our platform, both positive and negative. Hello, Mr. Chun Motorsport. The hotel may have been exercising its legal rights under local law. However, it is our role to inform you, so you may take this into consideration when researching your travel plans, said Trip Advisor. Wow. Well, for the most part, I'm going to say that I only leave I just think it's well, for the most part, anytime I stay at a hotel, I mean, you know, if it was really good, then I leave a review. If it wasn't all that good, I don't leave one. I don't want any hassles like this. And, you know, yeah, I should leave it. And if I got to fight it, I should fight it. And there have been a couple of places that I was considering writing something. But at the end of the day, this is a deterrent. And I don't know that it needs to be. It really shouldn't be, in my opinion. As a lifelong hotel manager executive, I can tell you that the rating systems here are bogus. Those calling themselves a 4-star hotel are barely a 2-star hotel in the West. Yeah, there are some 4-star hotels that they, in my opinion, I'm like, hey, this is great. It's not up to a 5-star hotel, and it is a 4-star. But then again, I've seen some 3-star, and I go, this is 3-star? Or this is 4-star? It's ridiculous. And, you know, listen, if you're traveling, it pays to know people. It pays to have trust in certain people. Whether it's me, whether it's somebody online, whether it's somebody you know that's traveled to a certain area, and they go, yeah, man, this place was great. Okay. And hopefully it still is by the time you get there. But this is something that needs to be addressed. It's called self-censorship. And that's what you have to do here. So, listen, Agoda and Booking.com are the same company. A lot of people don't know that. Agoda and Booking.com are the same company. Now, my wife is involved in the hotel industry, and one thing that she said is, if you can find a trustworthy travel agent in your home country to make the deal with the hotel. If you have a major problem, if something happens and you're trying to get your money back, you want to raise a stink about something, that way you're going directly through the travel agency and you're not going through, I know it's what's the word I'm looking for? Blanking out. Once again, every time I blank out during the streams. Completely blanked out. Yeah. If you book directly through the travel agency, then they are the ones who are going to deal with the actual hotel. Where Agoda is not going to give you your refund unless you bitch and moan, and it's not going to have the same clout as a travel agency back in your home country. So it really, I mean, I forget which one of them it is, but I tried, it might have been Booking.com, I don't know, and it was such a hassle to get a refund. And basically what happened was they said I had until a certain time. I responded, and the hotel contacted me, and then I wrote back to the hotel, I need to cancel this. And then whatever it was, Booking, Goda.com, whatever the website was, I don't know. I can't say, you know, I may have forgotten which website it was. But they told me, oh, no. You're not going to be able to get this refund. And I bitched and moaned and just went off. And then there was a time not long ago, and I think I told somebody about this, the hotel had made a mistake. They put up some, like, it was like a 5-star hotel, and they put up super price, $49 for this room. And I was like, whoa, 49 bucks. Now that's a value. Beautiful, nice 5-star. They said, oh, no, this wasn't, it was supposed to be 149. We made a mistake. And my wife said, no. They got to abide by what you reserved. And at the end of the day, they wouldn't abide by it. And I was pissed. Because, like, I'm like, hey, listen, you put that up on your website. I understand, you know, things happen. But they were just like, nope, sorry, no room. And I was like, wait a minute, you just confirmed it. And it was like a day later when they complained. So, you got to be careful. Funny thing, let's see here. What is this here? The funny thing about a hotel that I stayed at Pak Chong was that it was horrendous, and as I checked out, they took my photo as a marketing tool. They always do that. They always do that. They always want to, oh, look, I'm international. We got many customers from all around the world. They want that, you know, oh, yeah, I want to be international. That's their thinking. Crazy. Address was fake, as they had an address of me in Bangkok and my phone number was to Singapore. Strangers. Yeah, you got to be careful coming here. This is the kind of stuff, though, you know, like I said on my website, I'm going to start putting up more and more stuff about not only my travels, but things that are just as innocuous as, you know, just everyday stuff that people may want to know and that maybe you don't know. Because sometimes, you know, I mean, there's things that I found out and I just go, I never knew that. I've never been there. I didn't even know about this place. I saw the name of a place this morning, which I've forgotten already. And I went, wow, I didn't know that was in Chiang Mai. Never heard of the place. So, anyway, be careful when you're reserving a place. Sometimes, you know, you need to go with paying a little bit more for someplace reputable, or paying for a place that, like I said, you know, or people you know and you trust. They've stayed there before. And even that's not a guarantee, but it means that you have a better chance of staying in a place that you're not going to have a hassle. Whatever you do, first of all, don't get into an argument with the person at the hotel. Don't raise your voice. Don't get physical. And it's probably in your best interest, if you're just a tourist, to get out of the country first before you leave a review, or if you have, if you reserve the room through a travel agent, then have the travel agent leave a review. I've told a story about when I went to Koh Samet many years ago. I wasn't living in Thailand at the time. It's about 30 years ago, 31 years ago. And I reserved a place through a little travel agent that used to be on Soi 5. Now there's a restaurant that's been there a long time, and I think that's already gone. It's the same Soi as where Foodland is, but there used to be a restaurant on the corner, and then next to the restaurant was this little tiny travel agent. The lady had 2 chairs, and there was a desk, and then her chair, and that was the entire room. But it was very convenient, and she was very helpful, and she seemed like one of them, let me get you that, where do you want to go, honey? You know, that kind of mentality, kind of attitude. Okay, car, you know. So I got 2 packages from her. The first was to go into the Golden Triangle, which was fantastic. And the second was to go to Koh Samet. And when I went to Koh Samet, I got to the hotel, and it was not very good. I don't remember the name of it for the life of me. I mean, it's been almost 30 years, or 31 years, whatever. But I called the lady up. Actually, I was with a chick. And I told the chick, I go, man, this ain't gonna cut it. You know, this is not what I wanted, and this is not what was stated. So I called her up and she said, give me a few minutes. I said, okay. Called her back, 5-10 minutes later. She said, listen, I've changed your hotel. You can go to this place. And it was a little bungalow right on the beach. 500 baht a night. And it was fantastic, man. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And Koh Samet was quite a bit different back then. But she changed it for me. So the travel agents here are not all bad, and you can trust a lot of them or most of them, and if they've been around for a long time and they don't have a lot of complaints, well then, sometimes that's the way to go, but up to you, as they say. So anyway, that is all I have. I believe that's it for today. Today is Sunday, January 29th. I should be streaming. I need to beat last year's mark, if that's possible. So I'll probably be streaming on Tuesday. I want to do that. You can sign up for a YouTube membership, a membership to the site. I do have something going up in the members section probably tonight, if not tomorrow morning. It's of a condo that we took a look at yesterday. And you'll get an idea of, what a cost, what kind of a cost there is attached to a place in Bangkok. And it's in this area again. So I'll have that video going up, and I'll have some others going up in the next week. And like I said, I'll probably stream on Tuesday. So if you'd like to join me, I'd appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this stream, this episode. And like I said, go to my website. Please go to my website. Hopefully I can figure out what in the heck is going on with these codes. And this is one of those things where the guy that I'm dealing with, he's only half into his business now, because I don't know if things slowed down or what's going on. But he works part-time. He does these kind of websites part-time. And I'm having a hard time, taking care of everything. Like normally a place would, you email them, they'll say, okay, I'll get back to you. If it's a weekend, maybe they'll get back to you on Monday or whatever. But when it comes to websites, they're generally pretty good. They will update you within 24 hours. And it's been about a week since I've been working on this, and I really like the website, but the hassles and the problems that are going on can be frustrating. So that's all I'll say. But I do like the way the website looks. I think it's going to turn out much better and have a lot more information. I'm transferring all the old information on. What browser are you using, Wesley? Are you using Safari, or are you using something else? Because the browser has made a difference. I'm on Firefox right now. Normally I use Chrome, and it won't load on Chrome. Which apparently, actually the shop loads. If you click on any of those, it should load even if the rest of the site doesn't load, which I find strange. You must have the app. I don't know what app that is you're talking about. You mean an app for a browser or something? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I'm going to try to work it out, and hopefully you guys enjoy the site. There'll be news articles going up all the time. There'll be videos going up all the time, live streams going up all the time, articles, how-tos, all kinds of stuff. Stuff about places I've traveled to. I've decided to actually put a fair bit of work into it just to get it going and really to where I can get into a flow. And I haven't done this in a long time, and I need to do it. And the same goes for the website, for the channel rather. So stick around, stay tuned, join me the next time, and I guess that's it. So I'll talk to you all later. Appreciate all the support, and it's not working on Chrome. I don't know. Let me see here, because I don't know. I've done everything I could. I've done what the guy wanted me to. It seems to be working right. This time it worked the first time I put it up, although, yeah, it's not loading 100%. So the problem is that, there's various scripts that draw from, I guess, the blog or whatever it's called. And some things load, some things don't. There's like, script errors or something, and I hope to hear back from the guy soon. But it does work back in the States. I know a lot of people who have said it's worked fine. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully I'll figure it out. Here we go. You can say hello to Miss Beer, Gennaro. I know she's your favorite. Haven't seen her in a while. But anyway, we'll figure it out here. And hopefully I'll get it squared away. Next stream, I don't know where it's going to be from, here, there, everywhere, I don't know, but thank you for joining me, and I guess that is all. Choke me, loud jerk and my, and all that good stuff. I've used a VPN. I've tried restarting the computer. I've updated, I made sure that all the browsers were updated. I've done everything I could, so my knowledge is limited. I can only design a website to a certain point, and then I'm completely oblivious. I need help by somebody who really knows what's going on. The website works on a computer, on my computer, on a Firefox browser, but it doesn't work in Chrome and Safari. But then I talked to 2 or 3 people in the States, and they said it works fine. And now I heard, in my mobile phone it doesn't work. And then I heard on my mobile phone it does work. So that's not what I need. I need it works, and I have messages and requests into the developer and also the web host, and I'm going to see what happens. But anyway, check it out. Hopefully things will work for you, and it will just get better and easier. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Good deal. I'm glad to hear that. The more people that say it works, the better. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys later. Click thumbs up, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. Choke me.